Hopefully you guys aren't tired of this confusing series of events. First and foremost, I'd like to thank everyone who commented on I found a secret radio station helping me out. I learned what a number station was, and also that I didn't have a normal radio. The station numbers were all off, and there was no AM or FM. I have no idea what kind of radio it was, or how my grandma got her hands on it. Some sort of spy radio? I don't know. I also ended up finding a Reddit user called Record Studio Morgan. I'll tell you how. After she posted on her story, I ended up finding it while on the subreddit. I knew from the title who she was, and reading the story confirmed it. We started talking. She was located in a small town in Missouri, which is what the show me was a reference to. As for 312, Basket and Oak, they were parts of the address where the station was hidden. So, I took a road trip. Once in town and on the road Oak Street, I started looking for 312. I noticed a building after 310 that was rather run down, and I couldn't see the street address for it. It was called Basket Record Studio. I recognised the words record studio from her username. I knew that it was a disguise for the number station. I sat outside in my car for a while, pondering how to get in. If I just walked in the front door, at best I would never find the place where the station was hidden, and at worst, I would get killed. I had to find an alternative, some way to sneak in. She was hidden in the ceiling, so maybe I could get to her from the roof. That had to be my best plan. I parked my car down the road and walked to the back of the building, looking for a way to climb up. I performed an awkward combination of parkour and climbing to make my way to the top, which probably lasted 5 minutes and really taxed me physically. The roof was flat, with the only part sticking out being some kind of air conditioner or vent. I rattled the metal part in front, but it was attached well. A large black van drove by on the street below me, and as a reaction, I hid behind the vent, heart rate spiking. I knew I had limited time up here. I tried to use my back to ram it in, but no success. And then, I felt it hit back. I turned around frantically, and the slivers of light shining through the vent revealed a face looking back at me. "Is it you?" she asked. I recognized her voice. "Morgan?" She nodded. "I heard you shaking the vent. You're really here to save me." My breath was coming out in short gasps. Yeah, I am." I paused. "How are we going to get you out of here?" "I think I can knock the nuts off these bolts from in here," she told me. "Hang on." She hit the end of a bolt with the heel of her hand several times, then unscrewed the nut once it was loose. "This one's done. Let me work on the others." She sounded tired. She probably hadn't eaten in a few days, or gotten any water. I was worried over my head, but this was the only way. Once she was on the fourth one, I heard shouting from inside the building. "Did you hear that?" I asked, voice shaking and heart racing. She nodded. She was out of breath, but managed, almost done. It was taking her a long time, and the strength in her hits was getting less and less. "Found you," bellowed a deep, angry voice from below. I heard a sound like footsteps, but more amplified and much stronger. Climbing. I grabbed the loose corners of the vent and pulled as hard as I could. It wasn't looking very optimistic. I used everything I had in me, probably grunting like I was constipated. Then it popped off. I snatched Morgan's hand and helped pull her out onto the roof. "You good?" She stared for a second. "Yeah," she managed finally. "Great, then let's go." I climbed back down the way I came, helping Morgan down as I went. When our feet landed on the grass, a door burst open next to us. "Run!" Hand in hand, we sprinted down the street. We had no time to look back at who was chasing us, but I could tell he was very close. We reached my car at long last. I didn't bother to be a gentleman and open the door for her. We both scrambled in. I started the car and slammed on the gas, nearly running into another car parked next to me. As I sped down the street, I heard multiple quick bangs. Gunshots. My backseat window shattered and a hole was torn in the passenger side door where Morgan sat. "Are you okay?" I couldn't look over at her. I was too concentrated on getting away. "I think so," she said. "It just got my leg." "What?" I whipped my head around to see if anyone was following us before pulling into some parking lot. "Let me see." The bullet had just grazed the side of her calf, ripping a hole in her jeans. It was bleeding pretty bad, but she ended up fine. After all that, I took her back to my house. We've been doing pretty well since then. I'm glad I was able to rescue her from wherever she was working. Oh, I destroyed my radio too. Morgan can't look at or listen to radio anymore. It causes her too much distress. I don't know if they're still looking for her. They might have got my license plate number. I really hope they don't find this on Reddit, so I'm not revealing my location. I'm just glad that Morgan is safe.